guys, welcome to Earthit. So today we're going to look at a very natural, sustainable, easy method of preparing a fertilizer that works like magic in our garden, that works for all the types of plants all through the years. There are two methods. Number one is fermented fruit juice. Number two is fermented plant juice. Basic difference between these two will be fermented fruit juice is going to be used for the plants which has fruits or which is going to bear a lot of flowers. The fermented plant juice is going to be used for a healthy foliage. So for example, if you are growing spinach or if you are growing microgreens, cauliflower, cabbage, onion greens, fermented plant juice is extremely good for them. So now let's get into the detail for the materials of fermented fruit juice. As the name says, we are going to use different types of fruits for this method. We can either use it with a single fruit or we can use it with a combination of different fruits. But we'll avoid the citrus fruits. Basically, lemon, lime and orange can be avoided completely in this method. The different fruits that will go really well for this process are bananas, mangoes, papayas, melons like watermelons and muskmelons. We can also use pumpkins, we can use grapes, we can use gingers as well in this method. The second component would be brown sugar. We'll avoid white sugar and honey because they will not help in the fermentation process. The reason why we add brown sugar is because it helps in separating the phytochemicals from the fruits. Phytochemical is a component that's found in plants as a defense mechanism from the pathogen attack and the herbivorous attack. So what happens basically is, if we notice keenly in our plants which has a very nice smell, we'll have lots of worms that's eating out the leaves of the plants. Basically, the plants are weak in phytochemicals or in producing the phytochemicals. So when given this fermented fruit juice on a regular basis, it acts as a layer right on top of the leaves and it gives the plants the immunity from the roots and it helps in developing the defense mechanism, repelling off the insects and worms from eating them. So the process for this will be, we're going to take any fruit that has ripened really well. We can also use it with a combination of different types of fruits. Over here, we're going to chop these fruits off into tiny pieces and add an equal weight of brown sugar to it. Equal weight of brown sugar, equal weight of fruits. Add it an alternate layer, mash it really well. We can use wooden spatula or wooden twigs that's available in our garden. It's preferable not to use a metal because that may react. This process is very similar to that of wine. So we'll avoid using metal and we'll use wooden stick to just mash it up really well and mix it up. It's preferable to store it in a glass container with not the lid but with a paper towel or fabric because that will allow aeration for the fermentation process to be extremely well. So we are going to set this aside for a whole week and it's not preferable to expose it in the sunlight. You'll keep it away from sunlight in a darker place and after 1 week you can use them. The dilution will be 1 ml for 1 liter of water. So basically we'll take a teaspoon for 5 liters of water. That's going to be the calculation. We can filter it really well using a fabric and then use it in a foliage. Use it as a foliage spray or we can also use it directly on the soil. And the next process of fermented plant juice is almost similar. We're going to go up early in the morning before the sunrise, not even after sunrise, before the sunrise because that is when our plants are going to prepare their chlorophyll. So let's get into our garden and pluck those leaves along with their roots. We're not going to wash them, we're just going to use them with half the amount of sugar, half the amount of brown sugar. So if you have a handful of leaves, you are having half a handful of brown sugar for that. And now again chop them off and add them inside a glass container with the brown sugar. And in order for the leaves and brown sugar to mix really well, we are going to add a weight right on top of it because the leaves will just pop out and it won't mix with the sugar really well. So when we are doing it early in the morning, add some amount of water to it, add sugar to it, add a weight right on top of it. So this way they'll combine really well and we are going to leave it off till the night, and by the night we can remove the weight off because then the microbial growth will actually start off. So once this is done, we are again going to leave them for 7 days and after 7 days we can filter them and use it right on our plants, especially over the foliage, because that's going to help it really well. So hope this video was useful. Please do try to make these types of natural fertilizers and natural foliage spray growth, because this is a technique that's been used in Korea, Japan and China for a very sustainable growth in their agriculture. That way every country and every place has its own natural and native methods of growing plants, which is very, very healthy, which is natural, healthy for all of us. So let's practice a lot of natural fertilizers and natural pesticides to grow our plants and grow a healthy garden, and let's stay healthy. Please take care of yourself. Hope this video was useful. Meet you guys in the next video. Until then, namaste.